you guys. Good morning. So I was thinking about Tom Hanks, and the President Trump tweet where they said he almost tweeted that Tom Hanks had died after seeing reports. But the more I think about it, the way Google and YouTube work, it's like these when I do a YouTube on Tom Hanks, it gets pushed out into it's like something they want people to talk about for some reason. And if I do a video on say Jeffree Star or Shane Dawson, I get accused of all kinds of things. So it's very interesting that that this rumor is going around, right, about Tom Hanks. And I want you guys to start looking up, if you want, Michael Horowitz. Michael Horowitz is Winona Ryder's father. He was very close with Tim Leary and the man who wrote Brave New World, Aldous Huxley. And he has something called flashback books where he buys and trades humans. And through my friend Marianne Manick, decided, I guess, to hurt me. I'm not sure why he wanted to hurt me. And again, like, this is so weird. Like, Tom Hanks, some people go into my line of work for power. This is so weird. He says he was wiped. Like, wiped meaning wiped, right? Doesn't wipe mean dead? I mean, they sometimes put it in the media just exactly what it is. And what I don't understand about this whole thing is, I mean, you can say it's a military operation and that these people have been executed, but I guess what I have an issue with is if they are even arrested, why can't the public know? I mean, the public is asking questions about Tom Hanks. Where is he? He hasn't tweeted. And then we saw, Rita in this weird room, and we were like, where is she? We don't know where she is, right? And you would think that if this is a military op, and even if Tom Hanks is working for, the white hats, black hats, whatever you want to call it, I mean, he has been a federal contractor this whole time. So, whether they're choosing people and, choosing to murder women, inviting women to parties, pretending somebody else is going to die. Like I was invited to Kent Geib's party. He said he was dying, but actually they intended to kill me. So everyone involved in that party is an accessory to murder, because then they trafficked me overseas to steal my second ovary for De Beers. So listen, Tom Hanks right here, sheltering in place works like this. You don't give it to anyone, you don't get it from anyone. Common sense. No, going to take a while, but if we take care of each other, help where we can, and give up some comforts, this too shall pass. They do call, in AA, they call this stuff eating, taking your comforts, right? Eating. And it's just very weird. I just keep seeing these things, and then they'll recycle a story and say, oh, they got citizenship. I don't think there's something new about that photograph that I showed you the other day. In a recent interview with the National Defense Radio Show, Hank said he and Wilson experienced different symptoms. While he had bad body aches and was very fatigued, she had it even worse. Rita went through a tougher time than I did, he said. She had a much higher fever. She had lost her sense of taste and sense of smell. She got absolutely no joy from food for a better part of 3 weeks. It's such a weird, so weird. So, when they kill people, they claim it's some kind of fashion crisis and they need clothes, or some kind of food crisis. And maybe they're going to say this is a crisis, that she couldn't taste anything. He added that his wife was so nauseous she had to crawl on the floor from the bed to the facilities. The couple first tested positive for coronavirus in early March after they were in Australia for pre-production on Baz Luhrmann's untitled Elvis Presley biopic. Hanks was slated to portray Presley's longtime manager, Colonel Tom Parker, in the film. Production on the project was halted following Hank's diagnosis. So I guess they stopped filming this. He and Wilson were quarantined in an Australian hospital for 3 days after getting diagnosed. Remember, these guys produced My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I believe it works like some kind of pyramid scheme. You know, we got Kent Geib, who actually works for Sandia, who is actually tracking women who he wants the reproductive body parts from, and befriending them in AA. And we've got, Carrie Westcott, who works for Playboy, who, tried to, these people, it's like, who's above them? It could be Mark Rapkin. It could be, Tom Hanks. I don't know who, Mark, you would say like Rupert Murdoch of News Corp is above Jonathan Shaw and Johnny Depp in some way, because he's, and then they sue one another to make it look like they're not in bed together, right? They've always done this. Again, another 3 days. Right, so I just keep going, what is going on? This kind of looks like him. But there's like pictures they're showing that it just doesn't look like anything. Listen to this though. Although he tried exercising at the hospital, Hank said, I was wiped. Wiped? It sounds like wiped out. Wiped off, like gone. 12 minutes into a 30-minute set. You guys are going to figure this out with your gematria stuff. I don't. And sometimes you guys send me the gematria stuff, and it's very interesting what it says. All right. Whoever it was, a doctor or nurse, would come into our air pressurized isolation rooms. I've never heard of this. Air pressurized isolation rooms. She said, how are you feeling? And I said, I just had the weirdest thing. I just tried to do basic stretches and exercises on the floor and couldn't even get halfway through. It's like, nobody talks like this. Nobody talks like this, because it says, whoever it was, a doctor or a nurse, would come into our air pressurized isolation room. Then she said, whoever it was, a doctor or a nurse, would come. He recounted, and she looked at me through her glasses like she was talking to the dumbest human being. And she said, "You have COVID-19. So you guys, whatever you believe about the whatever, this is just weird writing, okay? In late March, after self-isolating in Australia, the two returned to Los Angeles, or so they did. So they said they did. Nothing about their return ever looked normal. We never saw anything normal. And we haven't seen anything normal since, as far as I can tell. These Instagrams, like, they don't look normal. So at first I said, okay, you guys are crazy. There's no way this guy could be, okay, he could be incarcerated. But we want more than that. We want what he stole from the American people to be given back to the American people. And I mean, I just think nothing else makes sense, right? Now we got the Juneteenth. I don't know who's posting here. Rita Wilson's Everybody Cries. And then he's saying hit records. You know, a hit is a murder. I just think this is very weird. Very weird. Got these people. When this is over. It's very odd. And really, you know, since I last did an update on this, nothing else. He's not posted anything else. So I still believe these people, it all works like a pyramid scheme. But I don't know where they are. I honestly don't. Like, at first I was like, okay, I'm sure they're still around. This is really weird, you guys. Now, I'm not saying that he's gone from Twitter, but you know, Tom Hanks is usually really easy to find. And now it says follow. We still got Colin Hanks here. And someone sent me something where, you know, Colin Hanks was wearing this. And, you know, it talked about Tom Hanks and showed this person. I mean, it's obviously that person. It's talking about shaming white senators. I mean, I don't think this is right. They're still enslaving tons and tons of people in America. So Rita Wilson is right there, right? Rita Wilson, but Tom Hanks is gone. I mean, what the hell? He's there. It's just harder to find him. I'm not sure why. This is his last. I mean, where the hell is Tom Hanks? I mean it. Where is he?